Shalom. I don't even consider myself black or them palm skin colored people as white. But for the sake of this discussion right here, I'm gonna use those terms. Pick a side. So, I don't know. When it comes to picking a side, I'd rather pick the side of righteousness over ratchetness and over wickedness. But I don't think that skin color determines that. When it comes to politics, I don't really play either. So I'm a neither type of person. But people say, you gotta pick a side. You gotta be Democrat or Republican. And I'm like, neither. When I was coming up, I grew up in what was considered a folks hood, I guess. And a lot of my relatives stayed in the folks down hood. I had people I loved in both areas. Pick a side. Like, why do I have to pick a side when I'm not affiliated with nothing? But, you know, right now, this red I'm wearing is probably a bothersome to some people or whatever. And I'm like, man, I'm 53, finna be 54 next month. Those things right there are so juvenile to me. When it comes to high school, I went to Northwestern, you know, but one of my closest friends, Jabbar, went over to Northern. We went to Holmes together, went to Brownell together. Got to pick a side, you know. I'm like, I am not picking. That's my friend. That's my brother. I love him, despite what school either one of us go to. That's my people. I don't have no loyalty to none of that other stuff. But people want you to pick a side. When I was going to different ministries or whatever, you know, oh, you affiliating with that other ministry, you know, you gotta always pick a side on almost everything you do. Pick a side. A lot of people, you know, was mad at me for having certain friends or whatever, or associates. You know, when I used to hang out with Dre, you know, sometimes my friend Roscoe would have a fit about it. Like, you know, he ain't one of us. And I'm like, man, whatever. You know, they would have a problem with it. When I started hanging out with Hiawatha at first, people was having a problem with it. But then they end up, you know, saying Hiawatha cool, you know. But they had a problem with it, you know. I'm like, y'all ain't allowing me to be me. If I don't fit y'all narrative and stuff like that and fit in your box, there's a problem. And I'm like, I can't do that. I gotta be me. You know, it's funny how even nowadays, you know, people want me to pick a side with certain stuff or whatever, and it'd be funny to me, because it's like, One of my closest friends, Tashawn, is a Muslim. We don't have the same beliefs and stuff like that, but we have a lot of things in common besides that belief right there in faith or whatever. She my people all day. All day. I choose her as a friend, as a relative over many people. But her beliefs is different than mine. And I don't play that game. I ain't getting tied up on that. She my people. I got other folks that I deal with that's dealing with Islam or whatever and stuff like that. We don't have to agree on that aspect. You know, we endure to the end. You know, whichever one is right, I hope we come to some clarity before we end this. But that's not the foundation of our relationship. I don't have to pick a side on that. I'm picking Yah all day, if anything. But when it comes to the righteousness and moral aspect of it and stuff like that, a lot of times, you know, you see more righteousness out of people that are on the other side, I guess. Because, you know, the honor that I've been seeking a lot of times, I don't get it from my same group or whatever. You know, it's a lot of times when I was dealing with palm skin people, they say, oh, what you with them Edomites? And I'm like, everybody ain't Edomites that's palm skin. And a lot of them was walking more in the Torah than the people that I look like. My obligation and loyalty comes to my family first, but a lot of times the ones that betrayed me and the ones that stabbed me in the back the most looked just like me, came from where I came, connected to what I was connected to. I don't always want to have to pick a side when it comes to certain things and stuff like that. It's a lot of folks that I done had to, make the decision. When they gave me ultimatums to pick a side, they say, you're going to either be cool with them or me. And I'm like, I want to be cool with both of y'all. But the thing is, though, since you giving me this ultimatum, you know who I'm going to cut off? You. Because they ain't played that game with me. They ain't give me no ultimatum. They might not have liked that I was dealing with you, but they didn't try to pressure me and bully me into a new opinion. They didn't want, make me or try to make me pick a side. But it's the fact that you trying to make me pick a side, goodbye. I still love you, but I don't play that game. A lot of times when I share my opinion on stuff, whatever, I know that it's going to be detrimental to some relationship because some people are basically operating with eggshells in their relationships. When I let it be known, I have no loyalty or I didn't believe. I voted for Barack Obama, but I didn't feel like he's a good president. He was a good president. Oh, you don't like your own kind. You don't like black people. And I'm like, boy, I guess we got to accept anything for anybody that looks like us, even if we know it's bad. People I knew that was doing bad was the people that I knew. Until I started working is when I started dealing with palm skin people and seeing how they was operating. Other than that, I seen it on TV. But I didn't have firsthand experience with them because they weren't in my community. So the people who used to bully me, they wasn't palm skin. The people who used to lie to me, steal from me, wasn't palm skin. Because I didn't have them around me. I had one friend, Joey Deaton, I think, don't even know where that guy is at. And when he said some comments about roots or whatever as a joke, that friendship ended. But I forever had friends that looked like me that misdirected me towards bad stuff or horrible stuff or evil stuff that tricked me, stole from me. One of my closest friends, lending my video games. He stole most of my Atari games. He don't remember it now. We ain't close no more, but we ain't at odds with each other. But he don't remember that he took most of my Atari games. Didn't give them back. The other one, he took my M network. And I joked about it, but we cool now. A lot of folks that look like me did some wrong towards me. Sadly, when it come to workplaces, most of the time people that look like me, they're too bad to me too. Because I don't really mess with the people. Other folks I didn't really mess with because they already showed their cards. They already let me know that they were racist or whatever. So it wasn't like, I was going to fall for that. But man, those that have been right in my face trying to be my friend that showed me they butt, them was the ones that I didn't expect and got me the most. Family members stealing from me. Family members betraying me. Friends stealing from me, betraying me. Come on. When I divorced my first wife, somebody I considered a friend was the first one to try to hit on my ex-wife. And she, she's like, you think these your friends? And she told me about it. It was somebody that I thought was cool with me. Sean, you got me. His name was Sean too. Dude that I thought was cheating with my first wife, his name was Sean too. My name is Shanquilla or Shanquilla. So come on. Pick a side. I pick my side. My side is Yah. My side is my wife. My side is my household. That's my side. Shalom. Pick a side.